Today we have some important decisions to make, and if all goes according to plan, we should be able to start our Valley project here and start developing the next segment of the base. But that assumes, of course, everything does go according to plan. And you guys know what pack this is by now, right? Welcome everyone to another episode of New Horizons. The mod pack where magic and technology are going to help us out tremendously today. So I was thinking the original plan today was to do all of the node jarring for thaumcraft, but then I remembered, oh yeah, we need the warding focus for this. So how do we craft the warding focus? Well, among some other garbage here, we need a nether star lens. How do we make a nether star lens? This is made from a nether star plate, cut from a nether star block, compressed from 9 nether stars. So instead we are not going to do thaumcraft today, but we're still going to get the warding focus. But first we do need at least 1 nether star to get all of this started. And to my knowledge, yeah, we don't have any wither skeleton skulls. So we are here in the nether, but not, oops. I thought I had the cloak enabled there. Let's try that again, shall we? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we are here in the nether, but I'm not going to farm wither skeletons, at least not without the proper equipment to do so. We are here instead to pick up our miner, which I placed a few hours ago over here. It looks like it's finished. That ghast is making me nervous. There he is. What on earth was that thing? I have no idea what that was there. Okay, checking the chest again, it looks like we didn't get what we were looking for. And we are going to have to replace it, but I realized I broke the turbine without taking out the benzene. Hello, skeleton. However, that shouldn't be any problem because last episode we did manage to upgrade our benzene system here. And this thing is actually awesome. We filled several super tanks worth of benzene. And it's full again. So I decided not to move it in the end. It will be moved at some point though. Okay, so after grabbing the benzene, I went back out into the nether to place the miner. And that relates to the Valley project later in the episode, but for now we start with some chemistry. Wait, hold on a second. So we're using this HV chemical reactor in the PTFE setup because this recipe requires HV, and this one actually used to belong over here because we stole it. So you know what, before we do any more chemistry, actually, I think we should look into building our very first large chemical reactor. One of the main uses for polytetrafluoroethylene actually, and really the main reason we actually automated this process at this point in the game. So yeah, enough of borrowing this setup, let's convert this back to making PTFE. And what say we jump into the first rabbit hole of the day and build the first chemical reactor. Actually shouldn't be too expensive for us at this point in the game. It does cost 4 HV circuits, so in fact I was batch crafting some circuits, they should be finished now in the clean room. Yes, perfect, we have 16 right here. And we're kind of getting low on circuit components, I'll have to batch craft some more. I think after that live stream we are, we are out of stuff to make circuits. Apart from wafers, we have a lot of wafers. Oh yeah, and that quest reward in HV for the single block chemical reactor can give us 4 large PTFE fluid pipes, which we're going to take. And these are used 2 at a time in the recipe for the large chemical reactor machine controller. So actually we can craft 2. Do we want to do that yet? Nah, I think we save the circuits, we'll just make 1. Bring me my vat of polyethylene. I think you'll find, Dream Master, that we have our vat of polyethylene right here in our spaghetti setup. And I actually forgot to mention that I added a packager down here, and that's due to the fact that we get tiny piles from the distillery. Tiny piles of carbon, that is. And the packager will just convert 9 tiny piles into 1 regular dust. Oh, and by the way, the compacting drawers don't work in this pack for things like this. You have to use a packager. Uh-oh. That is not a good sign. Things must be calcified here. And I didn't really talk about it much last episode, but I'm loving this new wrench. Especially given all of its use it's already seen. The shadow metal is awesome. Alright, so I did craft the 1 or 2 components we were missing for the LCR, and this thing is going to go right here. So we need a maintenance hatch, machine controller front and center, input bus, 2 output hatches, 2 input hatches, which I should have crafted. And remember, hatches are for fluids, buses are for items. Connected to the machine controller has to be a PTFE pipe casing, and then somewhere connected to that has to be a copper nickel coil block. So the main advantage to this is actually the fact that you can overclock, and you get a more favourable overclock than using the single blocks. We will go super in depth on the LCR in a future episode, but for now we need it for one purpose. I think filling the rest of this in with chemically inert casing which is basically just a lot of PTFE and steel. Filling this in should form the multi-block. Excellent, we have to do some basic maintenance for this thing. Has problems still? Oh, the circuitry. I bet this thing is out of charge. The soldering iron? The soldering iron? I cannot pronounce that word. Yeah, we have to charge this thing. So yeah, what exactly did we build this thing for? The answer to that is platinum metallic powder dust. And from this dust and a bunch of additives, we can get ruridite, iridium, osmiridium, osmium, ruthenium, rhodium, rhodium-plated palladium. Am I missing something? I think that's just about it. A whole bunch of byproducts in the process, and the thing we're actually after today is palladium right here. So yes, one day we will fully automate that process. But today we're going to batchcraft and get as much palladium as we can possibly get. Beginning here on 440 hours played, we started up the LCR, and then I wanted to try to get some of these chests emptied. Lots of the stuff we've been accumulating from miners, some of which we stored and some of which we tried to process into a more useful form. It was basically just a lot of running around the base. But speaking of processing, I also made up another 9 stacks of stainless steel, occasionally checking on the LCR to make sure it was running, and also running over to benzene to refuel all of our setups around the base. We can also at this point start to make use of some of these chemicals that we've been centrifuging and electrolyzing. Those came in pretty useful today. So one of the optional steps in this very long platinum chain, actually it's one of the first steps, is to make platinum concentrate. And we can actually start to accumulate some extra byproducts if we use purified tetrahedrite, which we happen to actually have here from the ore washers. I mean, honestly, it's probably not worth explaining the intricacies of Flatline at the moment, especially since we're not going to be fully automating it. This is just supposed to be a quick batch crafting session to get us what we need, but we are going to go with the one that gives us the extra output. Do you guys want to know why I love Gregtech so much? Yes, you are reading that correctly, 2457 seconds. Times that by 2 and that is how long we have to wait for Shadow Metal Tough Tool Rods. Yeah, look at this, almost 6 million EU. It's kind of a test of your power setup, but luckily for us, we have a swimming pool worth of benzene. So power is not an issue, and time is also not an issue. What were we on before? 440, we're now on 443. And what have I been doing? Waiting on this sifting machine right here and processing down some platinum. But you guys want some advice? I absolutely do not recommend doing this at this point in the game. But what exactly are we doing with all this palladium dust? Or lack thereof? One of the final steps is to get palladium salt dust and reprecipitated palladium dust. The salt dust we can send through a sifting machine for a chance at palladium metallic powder, which is roughly equivalent to the platinum metallic powder. And then the reprecipitated palladium dust, I believe we need 16. Yeah, it's 4 of these plus formic acid to get 2 palladium dust. And we need 8 ingots for our palladium large sword blade. And we are going to use this to farm the wither skulls to kill the wither. But like I mentioned, it's definitely not worth it. Just go with another material. Palladium is probably not worth the effort. That being said though, it does have 16 attack damage, which I think is the highest at least until you get to adamantium. At least I think it's adamantium. Yeah, it's MV in the blast furnace, but you need an aquata coils, and then to cool it down you need IV power. So yeah, palladium is basically the highest attack damage metal in the game. One of. I mean, you know, at least until you start getting into the ridiculous territory of infinity again. But that's just not going to happen. So yeah, I think my genius plan here has kind of been foiled by Greg. And just thinking about this some more, actually we also need a large plate. Apparently the large plate on the cleaver does actually affect its damage. But the way we're going right now, we're barely going to have enough for the blade. There's another 7 dust, so we're at 9. I'll have to double check the numbers, but yeah, even if we go with shadow metal, that's 6,000 seconds. So over triple the time it costs for the tough tool rods. And so because of that, we're going to pick up the HV extruder, which should overclock the recipe. And also give us our quest, which is going to go over right here. To be honest, I'm not even sure if it's worth going for shadow metal. I think I'll make a decision on that later. Alright, so we did eventually process down enough palladium, which made its way through the blast furnace and then through the vacuum freezer. And then finally through the extruder for the sword blade, and I almost made this thing shadow metal. which would have been a mistake actually, because shadow metal gives us a very respectable durability, 51,500, but we're actually better going with Damascus steel here, 73,500 durability, palladium large sword blade, and vibrant alloy large plate. Shadow metal here would have been better, but that takes too long, and we've wasted enough time today, so this is going to be perfectly fine for us. So this cleaver's purpose is beheading. We do need some extra modifiers to be able to apply this, and we can do that with block of gold and a diamond. Block of diamond and a notch apple can actually give us another modifier, and we do happen to have one here. As you can see there, the chance to behead on the cleaver is 20% as a base value just for being a cleaver. We can add ender pearls and obsidian twice. And now we have beheading too. I forgot this thing gives you mining fatigue when you're holding it, to stop you swinging too fast. We are in 1.7 after all, and you can just spam swords in this version. I was also able to get a spare palladium ingot. We are going to send this through the fluid extractor, and then cast that out into an energetic alloy tool rod. Does it work? Oh, it does work. Perfect. 500... Okay. 500 seconds. Okay, this should allow us to upgrade our ammo for the crossbow. So yeah, palladium being one of the sharpest materials, an energetic alloy actually has one of the lowest weight values in the game, and the lower the weight for your crossbow ammo, the farther it can go. Okay, well that did take a while, but after making the switch on the ammo, a quick side-by-side comparison reveals that wither skeletons, they are no match for us. Shouldn't be any match for us. You know, after the hours and hours it took to get palladium, I'm gonna be disappointed if we don't one-shot everything. Yeah, we have throughout the series invested a lot of time into gear, but I think it's going to be worth it. Not only do we now have damage, we have decent enough armor, we have permanent fire resistance, we take no fall damage because of the Mantle of the Raven, and we have Boots of the Traveller, which gives us speed, step assist, and in fact we even have the nano Boots of the Traveller, which we really should be wearing here. Oh yeah, I'm really liking this set. Oops. Well, thank goodness for the permanent fire resistance, right? That's not good. It normally wouldn't be good. I mean, we just have a slow journey back to the shoreline. Oh, hello there. So as you might have saw by the waypoint, we're after Firestone. And it looks like we didn't get any again. Yeah, Firestone is going to be for something in Buildcraft actually, which is a mod I've not played with for a while, it's safe to say. Very old school mod. And at least according to the quest book here, it's found at the bottom of a lava ocean. You know, it has just occurred to me that maybe lava ocean refers to the biome, and not, you know, a random ocean of lava in the nether. I think it is possible that we do have 1 or 2 Firestone ore. We would have to check though. We've opened this chest before. Anyways, for now though, what we need to find is wither skeletons, and there doesn't appear to be any here. I don't think I've seen a single one since we entered the nether. These guys are never around when you need to find them. Can I hit them? No. We got them. You think we can hit this wisp all the way over there? Nope. And again. With the jump shot. 3 with the jump shot. I really want to make this shot. Let's try this again. Jump shot. We missed again. 1 more. There we go. No way. The first skeleton we kill, we get a wither skull. Okay, either that was extremely good luck or extremely good preparation. Let's see if we can get any more. There's 1 more at the end of this corridor. Come at me. Okay, we didn't get it. Wait a second, I actually don't believe this. Am I supposed to be surprised here? I still thought this would take an extreme amount of farming. But we could be out of here in the next few minutes. Hold on. There's another one. Did we get a third? It actually gave us a third one. And a 4th one? Okay, not a 4th one. We actually got 3 in a row. That's crazy. Oh, there was 2 ninja skeletons there. Well, it's time for the wither fight, and we're going to take some of this Terra Wart since it stacks, and it will remove the wither debuff. Of course, we only got 1. That's okay, we can supplement with some milk, and probably also some potions. Yeah, we got instant health and regeneration here. Perfect. Oh nice, and we even have splash variants. I suspect we'll only have to do this once, unless we die of course, but don't jinx it. Touch wood. Touch wood. Alright, let's do this I guess. Potion of regen. Okay, let's back up. Let's back up. I don't believe it. Wait, did you guys see that damage there? Okay, you know what? I take back my previous statement. Palladium is worth it. Yeah, we got the Divination Sigil, we got some Pride Shards, the Nether Star of course, miniature Yellow Heart, and another victory. I told you the Wither wasn't going to be any match. Well, actually I said Wither Skeleton, but you know. We are unstoppable. So following the success of the Wither, we headed into the Twilight Forest to place the miners. As it turns out, we could do with some more entropy shards. And it also happened that we had some Firestone ore mixed in amongst the ore chests. But before we get onto that, we do have to collect some more things from Thaumcraft. So I mentioned here at the beginning of the episode we need 9 nether stars, right, to complete this craft. The rest of the items should be on these pedestals, and I think we've got the Essentia here ready to go. But we only killed 1 wither. Well, this is what I meant by magic and technology can help us today. If we sacrifice one of our nether stars, we can craft a null catalyst. Wait a second, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. There's 2 recipes for null catalyst. Okay, yeah, this is the right one. Assuming we've got some magma cream here, we have 6. I don't think that's going to be enough. I thought for sure I was prepared today. Obviously not. Oh nice, we got an extra modifier. Oh, we are not going to make it. We're not going to make it. I've also lost the fortress again. Found it. Oh come on, he managed to wed me from all the way down there. You know, sometimes you just have to let yourself have fun in the nether. This has been a blast, actually. For too long have these mobs got the better of me. It's my turn now. Okay, we are back from the nether. I actually had a very close call there with a couple of ghasts. It split into like 10 different ghasts and they almost got me. I don't think I got it on video though, unfortunately. Anyways, I've been making up a whole bunch of balance shards, which of course when we pulverize gives us Salus Mundus. And then 16 Salus Mundus and the Null Catalyst, 45 seconds later gives us another Nether Star. But we do still have the Null Catalyst here. Okay, so how do we get another Nether Star now? Well, first we pulverize the Nether Star we have, and I'm hoping we have enough Salus Mundus here. We might be a tiny bit short. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have this the right way, but then 1 Nether Star dust becomes 9 tiny piles. We use the tiny piles to craft another Null Catalyst, which gives us 2 more. And then 1 of the Null Catalysts we can use again together with Salus Mundus to make another Nether Star. It's very costly in terms of Salus Mundus, but Salus Mundus is not too hard to get, as long as you have the crystals for it, which we actually don't. I think we're short some Order and Earth, so we might have to move the miners again. But yeah, of course we do still have tiny piles of Nether Star dust, which we duplicate again. Yeah, and then we basically just repeat the process, making sure to keep at always 1 Null Catalyst. It's actually a really cool method of generating Nether Stars. I like it a lot. So since we're waiting on the Nether Stars, there's also the issue of this Firestone ore. And the interesting thing about this ore is whenever you have it in your inventory, it causes random fires around you. And I think it's like an 8 to 16 block radius, something like that. It's pretty big anyway. And of course, if these live machines with electricity running through ends up on fire, then, well, we're in trouble. So we have to be a bit quick here transferring it between inventories. Quickly toss it. Oh, I hear one. There it is. Wow, that was extremely quick to end up on fire there. I'm not sure if the same applies for the crushed ore. I would imagine not, but we do have to wash this. Oh yeah, that is a lot of ruby. This chest always is full. Oh nice, and we even get the extra chance output, which should be the quest. There we go. Yeah, and we want to sift this ore. The quest for it gives us another 16 dust and an MV loot bag, which was terrible. The dust has a 70% chance through the autoclave to turn into a gem. We have 17 dust. I think we need at least 9 gems. Let's hope we roll the dice here. But the sifting machine should also give us the rest. If not, we have to find some more ore. Oh no, and we've ended up like 13 Salus Mundus short. We're 1 Nether Star short, yeah, and it's 16 per recipe. I'm actually not sure if we have the shards to do this. We must be able to pull them together. So as it turns out, we did have enough for the Nether Star. We also rolled the dice on the Firestone. 9 Nether Stars goes through the compressor. That gives us the block, which then goes through the cutting machine, which gives us the plate, then through the lathe. which should give us the lens in 60 seconds. And there's actually a second reason why we went for the nether star plates today. Oh yeah, I forget, we should switch boots. These ones are way too fast. So one of the upcoming objectives that we have is to make it to space. And to get there, we need to craft a rocket inside the NASA workbench. To make the workbench, we need, well, IV circuits, but also robot arms. Different to the Gregtech robot arms, these ones require nether star plates. So 3 arms at 2 plates each, that's 6 nether star plates, and we have 8 left. However, this nether star lens is the final piece of the puzzle to our new spell. And always just double check stability. We should be fine for this. Yeah. Have at it, Thaumcraft. Excellent. Quest complete. And with this thing, we can of course start to jar some nodes. But we're gonna save that for another episode. Today I wish to come back to the Firestone, which also has to go through this compressor. Okay, quick. I hear one. There it is. There's 2. So the Firestone we want to process down into the crystal. And the crystal allows us to get into Buildcraft. I mean, there's lots of different things you can do with Buildcraft, but what we want to do here is make the filler. Apparently no quest. Alright, so let's build a chemical reactor. And we're gonna run it, Alright, so let's build a... Alright, let's build a chemical reactor. And the filler, contrary to its name, will allow us to clear out massive areas here in a relatively short amount of time. Honestly, I haven't seen this thing used in a very long time. Look at this. It will void the blocks, so we don't get any profit from this necessarily. That's also a very strange pattern to clear it in. I'm not sure how it decides. Maybe it's just wherever those things land. But yeah, we're just given this MV power right now. We have a gas turbine and a battery buffer. Nothing super special. Has it stopped? Oh, we're finished, yeah. As you can see, I predefined a relatively small area to begin with. So what exactly are we doing here? Well, the valley is something that I've talked about since episode 1, in fact. And the plans have changed slightly since then, but still nothing is set in stone, so if you guys have any suggestions, I would be very happy to hear them. But consider this really the first day that we're breaking ground on this project, and it's going to be a very long project. This is not something we're going to finish next episode, or 10 episodes time, or 30 episodes time. Maybe ever. I don't know. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't know if I have the skill to pull this off, but I want to be really ambitious with this project and build on a scale that I've never built before, or at least attempt to. I mean, you never know, this could all fail, and we could end up with a situation like we did outside, with that building we built and we tore down. I really hope that's not the case. You know what, I also just realised I didn't actually light this place up. We have night vision. Yeah, we don't want to make a mob farm in here. So since I've admitted my inexperience with this subject, we're going to make this more of a here's what I've learned type format. And I'm going to try to make the building process as transparent as possible. I want to take you guys on the journey of transforming this valley from a regular old GTNH default valley into hopefully one of the best bases. And there's some lessons I've learned from previous bases that I've built. For example, vertical space. We want to make use of vertical space. Oh, look at this. We got ourselves a Guardian with Vengeance. And Vengeance is the one that will reflect damage back at you. And now since we have Palladium, I'm not sure what's going to happen when we hit this guy. Like, are we going to get one shot? I think it's proportional to the amount of damage you do. The Vengeance trait, that is. Okay, we took a few hearts, but it's not too bad. You might remember down here, X marks the spot. We're going to keep that in place. And then we have Y over here, which is the entrance to Thaumcraft. C in the middle is going to be the center. That's the chunk we just excavated. And there's going to be a whole lot more excavation. I basically want to take the center 3 chunks all the way down to bedrock. Aha, I guess this also answers the question, does it remove liquids? The answer to that would be no. So water could potentially be an issue during this great dig. You guys are probably starting to think I've gone crazy here, and I'm beginning to think that myself. This is going to be massive. So yeah, some decisions we have to make. What are we going to put in the very center? It's either going to be the crafting terminals from Applied Energistics, or we're going to convert it into a massive rocket silo. The plan is to have some sort of circular beam which goes all the way throughout the center of the base, and then somehow maybe connect up some cables almost to the valley. It's kind of my loose vision that I have. It's very hard to describe without any visual evidence. And normally I like to show and not tell, but when we're this far away from the end goal, it's kind of impossible right now. And yes, taking on this massive project will mean that we are not going to be doing gregging. There's a dark spot here. And an enderman. Taking on this massive project does mean that we're not going to be doing quite as much greg or thaumcraft. There's going to be a lot more heavy focus on building. We are going to need some sort of block factory because, as you can imagine, this is going to be a lot of blocks. We don't want to have this hardened clay walls, right? We're going to need solutions to some pretty big problems we're about to create here. However, just before we wrap up today, I did cut out a section of this video where I set up a few of the Ender IO machines. Actually, only one here. We do actually have a painting machine, which we can also add to that collection. Yeah, that can go over here. I originally planned actually to make a powered spawner for the wither skeletons, which we still might do at some point. But having those machines there and closing this section off means there's no way to actually get back here unless we break through the wall. Thaumcraft though might have a solution for us actually. We need a way to recharge these wands soon enough because we're getting all of these tools and no way to actually use them effectively. And this room is another one of those projects which really could do with a visual overhaul. I think most of you guys, including myself to be honest, are getting probably tired of this hardened clay mixed with stone, mixed with cobblestone. It's time we change that, right? Okay, so some quartz, some crystal clusters. I think entropy is the one we're missing. And an ender pearl lens in the middle. Check the stability again. Yeah, we're fine. Alright, so we made what's called the portable hole. I'm not sure it's going to work through all of these blocks, but check this out. Oh yeah. That is actually as cool as was described to me. That is so awesome. It creates like a little rift through reality where you can pass through blocks. That is so cool. That is super. What happens when we stand inside? Probably not anything good. Yep. I'm very curious to know what happens on multi-block machines, like blast furnaces. Can we go through the blast furnace? Don't fall down the hole. Okay, this is for science. Please don't break the blast furnace. There's actually tanks and things on the other side. Do we really want to be doing this? Maybe we do it like sideways. I'm not sure. Maybe we can do it on the steam grinder. Okay, nothing. It doesn't let us. Yeah, it doesn't let us. Okay. That's fair. That's probably for the best. Anyways, we are going to wrap up this episode right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next episode of New Horizons.